Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. This one was sent in by FelKoN, it's a community cast. He's against Mukip. This is in a King of the Hill tournament he played in the other day. And it's a cool one, it is a cool one. So as you can see, just trash frontline, just absolute crap, right? It's just gunnery mobs and deckhands, and gunnery mobs. All rubbish, alright? Carronade there, though, so you know, some artillery, which is nice against the High Elves. He's against the High Elves, by the way, played by Mukip as well, so, you know, very good. So yeah, a lot of just crap. Absolute crap. Just crap front line. The front line is crap. It's all crap. Okay, made my point. That's because everything awesome is over here. He's got a load of crabs. He's got 3 units of Rotting Prometheans, one of which is Lampreyd's Revenge, which is actually the gunnery mob Rotting Prometheans. So they do shoot as well. They have little pirates riding them, which I think is really fun. Hee hee hee. They're adorable. Anyway, also they regenerate, which is just nuts. So yeah, regenerating anything with 120 armor is just insane. And 63 melee defense as well. That's just not even fair. So they're really good. Also, there's a bloated corpse here, which I think is great, actually. The idea of a bloated corpse being escorted by something like Rotting Prometheans, I think is actually really clever. Because they're going to get in the way of any shots fired towards the bloated corpse. And also, if it does blow up in the middle of them, it's barely going to scratch these guys. It's really good at high model count damage. Against, you know, things like Rotting Prometheans, it's not going to do much. So, yeah, it's actually a really clever way to escort something into combat. Also, you're going to send very, like, elite halberds and things to try and kill Rotting Prometheans. And if there's a bloated corpse just milling about in there, yeah, it's going to be bad. So I like this as a strategy. Might not always, you know, be able to pull it off, but I think that's a fun idea. I like that. Also, Vampire Fleet Captain with a pistol and Lore of Deep. And there's also a Fleet Captain, Lore of Vampires as well. So mix, you know, of Lore of Magic there, which I think is really cool. So high off... Oh, also, yeah, there are Scurvy Dogs there and here. Yeah, they weren't deployed there. They ran from the corner. Anyway, it didn't take them long to get into those archers. So, the High Elves, they have... this is risky. This is crazy to see, the Swordmaster Hoeth. I was very surprised to see these guys, but they do actually perform brilliantly here. But bring elite units can be super risky. If they go gun heavy, you're just never going to get value from this stuff. But what I really like is the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower is actually a brilliant counter-artillery piece. It is really useful for dealing with enemy artillery. And yeah, he makes great use of it here. Also, a couple of archers. It's good to have some cheap archers to get some damage into, frankly, anything is going to suffer from just cheap archer fire. But Everqueen's Court Guards, they're going to be super useful as well. They're going to help get you more magic, which is always nice, and frankly, the armor piercing is just ludicrous. And it's some extra magic damage too, so if there's a load of sirens or anything, yeah, one volley from these guys is going to wipe them out. Also, Fireborn, so great anti-large damage there. Really good unit, the Fireborn. But again, super risky. If there's a couple of necrofexes or something, they're going to murder all this stuff, but there aren't any. So he made the right call. Also, there's a Prince on a Sun Dragon, and a Loremaster of Hoeth, which I think is probably the most reliable spellcaster. It's very difficult to snipe out a Loremaster of Hoeth, frankly. They are very robust and very small target, but also they get a lot of work done. And yeah, Spirit Leech, super useful for whittling down lords and heroes, and Earthblood, great for keeping your guys in the fight, keeping martial prowess going. So, we're going to speed things up. So, obviously, those archers did suffer pretty heavily from that Scurvy Dog attack, but the Scurvy Dogs were dealt with pretty quickly. Might have been a bit preemptive to go for the archers that soon, because, well, it's not like they had anything else to worry about. I mean, this front line is going to take around a week to turn up. Also over here, now this is very interesting, because, as you can see, Spirit Leech is actually targeting the artillery pieces, and I didn't realise that was something that it did. But that artillery piece got taken out with a Spirit Leech, and if you overcast it, the range is bonkers. So, really nice way to deal with it. Say there's a Queen Bess. I mean, that's risky, obviously. I mean, Eagle Bolt Thrower, be able to hit that every time is massive. But, you know, even like a Queen Bess or something in a different matchup, there's a Spirit Leech to be able to go, no. Just shut it down. It's crazy. So the Carronade having a very tough time. So anyway, all the crabs are moving down the side, which is worth a while. Obviously, the Fireborn are poised to receive these just horrible amount of heavily armored monsters. So, you know, and these guys, totally fine time getting in the way of all this lot, because, I mean, one unit of Swordmasters could kill all of this without breaking a sweat, frankly. This stuff is just inconsequential to something like Swordmasters. So anyway, archers are starting to fire in. Zombie Deckhands mob being shot by Sisters of Avalon seems like a bit overkill, frankly, but, you know, you do what you can. You're going to be bogged down by summoned crabs and zombies and things in no time anyway, so you may as well shoot what you can. Try and soften things up a bit. But they will be switching over here, because this is a lot of armor. This is very scary. So you can see the Rotting Prometheans taking a lot of damage, and you see that is a huge amount of damage. Another Spirit Leech on them to help whittle them down. The anti-large from the Spearman, and the anti-large and great charge bonus from the Fireborn. Yeah, that initial unit is going to suffer heavily. The as you can see, oh, yep, and the Bloated Corpse blew up. Did some damage to the Fireborn, so not bad. Not the worst thing in the world, but it wasn't the best hit, because it was just some stragglers, unfortunately. But, yeah, Prince coming in as well. Yeah, these Rotting Prometheans are doomed. Also, there's an Earthblood, keeping all of the High Elf units healed up there, including the Dragonborn. Fireborn, Dragon Princes, there we go. So, that's pretty great. The other crabs just being chased around by the Spearmen. But here, now this is beautiful. How do you deal with Swordmasters? Oh, that'll be it. Yep, that's it. So what's that? 1,200 plus another 5, what's that? 1,700 compared to 400 plus 300. Yeah, that went well. Unfortunately, it didn't hit these guys. I think he could have actually hit both of the Swordmasters and just gone for the Swordmasters. Maybe that was his intention, and he went too far down the line when he cast it. Or maybe he thought it went both ways. I don't know. But unfortunately, these Swordmasters are still fine. But, I mean, look how much damage they took. So that spell, I mean, you can see it a mile off, but when you've got a lot of other stuff, you know, when the battle is underway like this, you don't necessarily get out of the way. So that was pretty ridiculous. And here you can see the Fireborn are really struggling against all this. They just can't keep up this fight. So the Prince is coming in again to try and help, but he's going to take some pretty solid damage. Now there's no Spearman in here taking the blows. All of these armor-piercing units are just going to be hitting the Prince. And I think we're going to see a Hornswoggle on him soon, which will lower his armor down to 50. Okay, Spirit Leech on the Lamprey's Revenge, I believe. Yep. But, yeah, the Prince is going to start taking some pretty heavy damage from all of the heroes and things in here. Swordmaster, though. Sorry, the Lawmaster, getting some great work done. Here, a Gunnery Mob was summoned. They're going to be able to get some great shots into all this. I mean, look at this. This Prince is getting absolutely ruined. I mean, all these cheap pole arms. I mean, they're not the best melee defense at 44. I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not stellar, right? So compared to, yeah, it's pretty crap melee attack, but there's a whole load of them, and they have the anti-large bonus to help him hit. Yeah, it gets bogged down pretty quickly. That was kind of ludicrous how quickly that Prince died on his own in there. So, a little bit insane. So he's broken, and getting shot at a little bit more by Lamprey's Revenge as he runs. So that's pretty ridiculous. And now he's shattered. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. So the back line completely compromised, of course, although the crabs have been dealt with now. And amazingly, these claw bolt throwers are still online? Wow, surprising. Anyway, Swordmasters, yeah, they're not really good for killing big crabs. This is actually perfect for the big crabs. If you've got to stop them with something, and Swordmasters are going to hold them at bay for the longest, just, you know, because they're great, frankly. That's the only reason. They're just great units. So they're going to hold this stuff back while the back of the High Elf line recoups. So Everqueen's Court Guards, they're able to start firing in again, and the damage from these guys is ludicrous. So here you can see the zombie pirate gunnery mobs. They're trying to get some shots into them, but Spearmen are rightly just getting in the way. At this point, yeah, look, the crabs have taken a huge amount of damage, but so have those Swordmasters. The Lawmaster isn't able to catch up with all this stuff. And here, the Fireborn, wow, they have 15 health left. 12. 7. 5. Wow, they're not going to hit for much damage, huh? But anyway, they're going to get wiped out. And still plenty of guns. You can just turn around and start shooting at whatever. But the crabs are dead. It's only the fleet captain and the fleet admiral now in here. And they're still taking damage from the Everqueen's Court Guard. So you're going to see some of this stuff is going to run forward, try and get into the Everqueen's Court Guard. And yeah, the best way to stop something shooting at you is to attack it yourself. So these guys are going to go for the Court Guards. And Lawmaster Hoeth getting stuck on zombies. And these guys are coming back, getting some shots in. It's not looking great for the High Elves at this point. They do still have some pretty good units, but unless he can actually finish off one of these Lords of Heroes, I mean, he's got to kill this stuff, or he's not going to win. You know, this Admiral needs to die, and this Fleet Captain needs to die. Just a couple of Spirit Leeches, you know, can do it. That'll be enough to swing it, I think. But that's a big ask this late into the battle. You know, he's been using Earthbloods and Spirit Leeches the entire game, and it's not like he's got Arcane Conduit or anything. He's just a Lawmaster of Hoeth. There we go. I keep saying Swordmaster. I keep getting it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, yeah, he doesn't have Arcane Conduit or anything. He's not going to be able to keep going. But frankly, the Spearmen are doing a great job. I think they should be in here trying to deal with them. Fair enough, get shot in the back, who cares, but you've got to keep this Lawmaster safe. You've got to surround him with as much as you can to keep him going, because he's the only one that's going to hit hard enough to be able to kill this stuff. So these Spearmen all need to run over here and deal with them. They really do, because right now, yep, that's taunt. So 30 less armor, 27 less melee defense. I mean, 16 melee defense on anything High Elf is pretty ridiculous. So he just gets bullied. He just gets bullied. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Lawmasters couldn't hold out against, you know, 2 giant crabs with very powerful people riding them. It's not good. It is not good at all. So yeah, pretty great fight though. This was really interesting. I hadn't really seen either, like, I haven't seen anyone take either of these approaches against each other. I've seen this matchup quite a lot, but just never this way. You know, I never see elite infantry in the front line. But this is a great sort of counter-meta, counter-picking thing going on, because frankly, you kind of expect a load of artillery, so you don't bring any elite stuff. You expect the other person to think that you're going to have a load of artillery and not bring any elite stuff, so why bother bringing a load of artillery that isn't going to get value because there's nothing elite to shoot at? So yeah, you see what I mean? And obviously there is some insurance against that. The Uniclaw bolt thrower gets great value regardless. Even if it's just the 1 cannon, that thing got shut down so quickly. It got nothing done. So the Uniclaw bolt thrower, really great pick. And just that, if it could take out 1 or 2 units, you know, you could hide your swordmaster in the trees if there's a lot more cannons than you're expecting, and just let the Uniclaw bolt thrower just get rid of that artillery. And yeah, frankly, they'll survive a long time, unless there's a spiteful shot after spiteful shot being cast on all the artillery. It's going to be very difficult for them to hit the bolt throwers. The bolt throwers are very small targets, and these are not very accurate. So yeah, great investment there. I think it's absolutely superb. So I love that. I love the, you know, assuming people know the meta, so going against it, right? I love that. But also here, again, it was a similar thing. Just bring a load of crabs, you know? Try and deal with all the big frontline engagements, you know, with a massive spell. I mean, 141 kills. Amazing! I love it. So, 2 very awesome sort of builds here. Very interesting. And gambling with a bloated corpse is hilarious. I love that. I think that's brilliant, especially assuming that the meta is bring a super wide line with a load of spearmen, white lions and archers, right? That tends to be all you see. So, bloated corpse, rarely is it going to get value, but he gambled with it, and frankly, it's too funny unit not to, so I'm so glad that people are bringing this. So, guys, if you enjoyed this, then please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys.